Welcome Gran Turismo 7 fans or sim racing fans. We've got the Manufacturers Cup coming up and I want to help you figure out how to get ready for this before those practice races can be practiced. So look at the schedule list and the first on the list is the Suzuka circuit. And we want to practice with an actual GR3 car, not this week's weekly race of a going Suzuka circuit with the GR4. So find it on the AI maps, world map, go to Asia, Pacific, and you can either get 168 credits running your GR3 car or just jump right into, this is going to be more challenging, and it's 5 laps, so quite a bit of money for half the laps. And well, it's we'll need to change the tires, but that's a good amount of money for 5 laps, so it'll be good practice. You got to switch on the racing hard. And here we go, let's enter right in. So you're gonna get to farm, you're gonna get to make credits to be able to afford your dream vehicles and prepare for the Manufacturers Cup. So it's a 2-for-1, we've got a 2-for-on today. We're gonna be doing a rolling start. So welcome to JCCR Racing, where I'm here to give you the tips, the tricks to make money, get faster, and have a lot of fun online and offline. Online's always fun because of the challenge. So hopefully a bit of muscle memory for Suzuka since it was the weekly race, not that long ago. So what's nice about playing these hot bean races against the AI is they're not quite as violent as online. You can get paid a lot more money for your laps, helping you afford those dream cars. And it's great practice for the upcoming Manufacturers Cup. So win-win-win. And the AI does push. They're not nearly as violent as the online racers. But these offline AI will get you prepped. Really slow through there, trying to avoid practicing my safe driving skills. Turn in late. That works out just fine. So we're working to figure out, will we get into the Manufacturers Cup under racing for Ferrari or Porsche 911? So we're going to be figuring that out as we farm credits and prepare for the weekly race this Wednesday. Sorry, not the weekly race, the Manufacturers Cup this Wednesday at Suzuka Circuit. And the AI here is decently fast. It makes for just a perfect balanced warm-up experience. So I remember no braking through there. I gotta go full speed it. So working on recollecting, I'm gonna defend inside here, the apex. So before the online race, we got to figure out where are our brake points, what are the best lines to take through here, when to turn in, when to start accelerating coming out. Now that first turn often, lap 1 online, people brake really excessively and no one's following what they should be doing. So you got to watch out because you can rear end someone without expecting it or doing it deliberately. The 911 is just fantastic on the Suzuka circuit. So right now I'm currently leaning a little bit more towards the 911. I had 0 experience earlier today with the Nürburgring and did a real comparison. Started with the 911, then did the Ferrari, then back to the 911 and Ferrari, then 911, and finally the best time ever so slightly by 0.2 seconds was the 911. But the Ferrari just felt easier to drive, despite its little quirks that I actually like quite a bit. So let me know in the comments section. What's important is that we learn and grow together. So if you want to learn and grow and you've got a growth mindset, you want to get faster laps or help people get faster laps, join the community and drop a comment. What do you like to use for Suzuka Circuit, or in general, what's your favorite or handful of favorite cars to use for online, and does that differ to your offline and online cars? Are they the same? The Ferrari 458 I find gets punted pretty easily. Still going way too slow through there. We need to be full throttle through that turn. I guess we'll take the inside here. Now the Porsche 911 has all that engine weight over the rear wheels, so you can really power out of corners. So it's maybe easier, a little easier to drive if you don't slide it out when you first are turning off traction control fully. Whipping around the 911 does feel really great. Holds the track so well. It's got incredible grip until it has none. So until you start sliding, incredible grip. Once you start sliding, the Ferrari 458 is a lot easier to control. Not to say that the 911 is hard to control, but medium. So there's a lot of meat to first gear on the 911, so there's a lot of vehicles that first gear you do not want to take off in. You'll spin out the back end or slide out the whole car, but this isn't one of them. Like here, you want to be in first, and second, I'd have just no power, no torque available. Making a nice little pass on the competition. Here we go, folks. This is fine, fun racing. Light braking, double downshift on the 50. Use second to help rotate the car. Now there isn't a lot of rear end rotation, putting the nose in the right direction with this vehicle. The cars that do that best, of course, are front engine rear wheel drive, but the Ferrari does do it better than the 911. So if that's your style, that's where your strength is, then you need to go run the Ferrari 458 or just a front engine vehicle altogether. So the Ferrari 458 is a mid-engine. I find their use well worth getting used to. It's my preferred cup of tea. A little controllable loss of control there. That little overpower slide. It's nice, starting to get the hang of it. It's all about finding a car that its pros and cons match your strengths and weaknesses. Now, often beginner and intermediate drivers really have a too late braking issue. We're fast into the turns, meaning we miss the line. So having a car with amazing brakes is really helpful. So the McLaren might interest you for that reason, or the NSX. And sometimes because we have the wrong line, we need to redirect the nose, and the front engine rear wheel drive vehicles are great at that. I like the Mercedes quite a bit. Woo! Going super wide and putting myself into a slide to avoid a collision with the McLaren up front. McLaren's brakes being a little faster, a little more high performance. Ferrari, great turn-in, great braking. NSX, just an amazingly balanced vehicle. And not quite as overall OP, or not as overpowered as often as the 911 and 458 Italia are. Now, if you can handle the Lamborghini, it can be a little squirrely, a little nutty, but if you can handle the Lamborghini is often an OP car. Still braking there when I shouldn't, gotta remind myself. That's why we're practicing before the World Series. At the 100, we start braking, try to make it to the apex, overshoot a little here. A little direction with the throttle. Steering with the throttle there And here we go down another straight. Let's try to nail this one out. Have a banger of a lap. Little braking at the 100. A lot of braking right here. Going into a slide. Upshift to get out of the slide and let go of the throttle. And we survive that nicely. The 911 having a very controllable slide if you don't get nervous and overreact. I like that a lot. I now can see why ChatGPT was saying that the 911 is an easier car to drive than the Ferrari 458. Oh, but you gotta watch out right there on the grass. This is no landscaper's vehicle. It's not your pickup truck. It does not like to go over on the grass. Early braking McLaren. And we got contact. That oversteer though, I'm not a fan of it, but I just need to be lighter on the throttle coming out of turns. So I did expect to get it first, but I didn't get kept braking through here when I should not. That's how we need to just drive right through. If ever, slightly lift the foot off the accelerator, but not do some nervous braking. Here we go, let's take, oh, not quite taking fourth. But next lap, obviously jumping the Ferrari performance will be better now that we know the track. So we still have the fastest lap there out of the AI, but we need to drop several seconds off of that. Started in 10th, finished in 5th. Now let's compare to the Ferrari performance. So that was the Porsche 911 RSR, very drivable. And it was, I guess, the test car for the testing out the track. But now we will change car. Let's throw on the Ferrari and see the JCCR Ferrari 458 Italia. Do a little comparison test here. Ferrari getting the advantage of, well, that we know the track now. Hadn't driven it in a few weeks. Welcome back to JCCR Racing. Thank you so much for watching. Now the 458 gets instant points for just being more fun to drive because of the engine sound. It's a flat, plain crank V8. Yeah, the braking is a little squirrely when you let off the brake quickly. But once you get the hang of that, this is a harder car to drive because of the braking. That front end redirection or pop when you let go of the brake, but you can actually use it to your advantage once you're used to it. But this thing's acceleration is definitely better. A little off the track there. So let's get the gravel out of the tires. The grass, mud, stones, whatever it may be. Coming out also good in first gear, not sliding out like crazy. Going on the inside here. Very light on the throttle to not slide out the back end or slide out the whole car. Because it's a mid-engine, almost more chances that you slide out the whole car. And that's why mid-engines are known to be harder to control or harder to drive than a front-engine rear-wheel drive. Braking while in the turn and no issues whatsoever. Wonderful, wonderful car. So next lap is going to be much more of a test. Gonna need to get through the traffic here. Everyone's gonna brake. This is not a braking section. If anything, you just let off the throttle. Oh, very controllable slide. Oh, little slide. Losing time when we slide, so we want to avoid sliding like that. We're a little too hard on the throttle while the steering was turned. Go in nice fast, then brake right in there. That's your real braking zone. Light handling, light steering. This car feels so light, sounds so good. Oh, it's a wonderful, wonderful car to drive. Oh, almost a little bit of contact there. They'll have a little bit of black or red paint on that yellow, whatever it was. Paying a little more attention to the track than the other cars, I guess. Okay. Came off the curb, started to spin, shouldn't have been in first there. The 911, easy to be in first. So come out, rotate through the corner in first to help with the car's rotation, but then come out in second with the Ferrari so we don't spin out. The 911 would have been first, so a little difference there. First here, I could have slid out with the 458 Ferrari. Second to rotate the car. And I'm sure we can do better than fifth. I think we can beat the 911's time. Ooh, quick little pass there. Blew his doors off. So 209's the top, 208's now the top time. Let's see here. Did we beat it? We didn't. 209.4. Okay, so let's get down to 206 now. Otherwise, definite points to the 911. Whereas this feels faster. The 911 so far is faster in the hands of a beginner intermediate driver. But the 911 is just great at swerving in and out of the traffic here. Great at taking a position because we could get easily to the inside line from the outside to the inside. Double downshift. Little rear end spin from the AMG. That doesn't surprise me. Not that much weight over the rear wheels. All that engine weight's up front and it's rear wheel drive. So if you're a little hard on the throttle, it's gonna kick out on you. So second to rotate the car through the turn. Should be able to take a couple cars here. Got to work on clean, smart, safe driving. Otherwise, when they slow down, it is very easy to hit them. And I did a little bit of braking, got a little nervous seeing their brake lights go on. So driving manual, and that means we can brake a lot faster because we're using engine braking by downshifting. So the engine and transmission are slowing down the vehicle, not just the brakes. 207.5, so now we've got our 911 time copied. but we have more experience driving this on this track because we just did the 911, so I think the points are going to go to the 911. But this is more fun to drive. It's weird. The light handling, the quirkiness, the sound. Chasing down fourth, just like the last race with the 911. Love how high you can rev this thing up. Gotta watch out for that first gear. The back end will want to spin on you. Here we go, taking out the Toyota Supra. Looking for my time and place to strike, and I think it's right here. There we go. Let's go get first. We got time. Just have to drive smart and safe and use a handful of tips that we picked up from the pros. So go wide, then come in. Might get a penalty there for skipping track. Just trying to find space here. I'm gonna go pass on the inside with my superior braking from the 458 Ferrari. Use those high quality brakes to our advantage. And chasing down the Ford GT race car. Let's hold the gap here. Looking for the right time to pass. And we now have the inside, so here we go. Ooh, getting a little... There we go, finally got that turn right, so we will make a much better lap time here. Get it into first so we can rotate the car around the corner properly. And we're now way ahead, getting quite a bit ahead of the pack, which is good. It's a good sign that we're getting faster laps. Braked way too early, should have braked all the way to the apex. Need to rev this out a little bit more than the last shift. Here we go. And now we're in the front. We can actually take this turn properly if the Supra doesn't take the inside. But he hopefully will brake. Oh, and we lose control. Would we have done that in the 911? That's the big question. The 911 with the weight over the rear tires is great at holding traction at high speeds. I'd say maybe that's where the advantage lays. There we go. Two cars that you might think are quite similar are actually quite different, requiring different styles. I find the 911, you cannot bend the Porsche 911 to your will. It will bend you to its will, but if you listen to the car, you'll do great things with the Porsche 911, whereas the Ferrari is more, I'd say, accepting. And it will bend to your will a little more, but at the end of the day, you got, I'd say, better acceleration and braking out of the Ferrari, but you have better high-speed stability out of the Porsche 911 with that rear engine over those rear wheels. So make your choice. Let us know in the comments what works best for you. Happy we got the fastest lap there. And farming up some credits. Thank you so much for watching. You've been watching JCCR Racing. If you found this informative or entertaining, please, or you just are a kind person who want to help out, please smash that thumbs up button, subscribe, and turn bell notifications on to not miss out on any epic races, whether they're online or offline. We push it to the max. We don't quit, and we're working from going from zero to hero. And I say we because we've got an incredible live chat community when we do lives. We've got some A, B, and C racers in there, and they're giving out pro tips, really helping us, the whole community develop, and that's the JCCR Racing community. Thanks again so much for watching. Until next time, I wish you all more cars and more power, and really do hope that you get to put the pedal to the metal on a car you love sometime real soon. Let's capture a nice little thumbnail here, and hope to see you in the next video. Take care, folks.